Look at Exodus chapter 16 now. Let me shoot. Exodus, I've laid the foundation. Exodus chapter 16 verse 3. Let's visit the manna that was given to them in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For you have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Verse 4. Then said the Lord unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you. Who said it? Who said it? Who said it? The Lord. I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. But look at Deuteronomy 8 verse 3. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knowest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know the reason for the manna. It was a communication, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live. Remember, that's where Jesus quoted for in Matthew, when the temptation came up. This is the key point. That is, there is a communication that bread was supposed to make. That bread was a mode of communication. But instead of getting the message, they ate bread and were even hiding the bread, and it was breading worms. They missed the point. And that's the problem. When you raise people up depending on natural things, they never see Christ. They become idol worshippers because they get entangled in those elements and they miss Christ. Meanwhile, the communication was because you were dull spiritually. So somebody decided to use physical things to take you to Christ. Then you stayed with the things and never saw Christ. We don't use such for spiritual men. Spiritual men, we use words. Because words bring life. Am I teaching good here? Yeah, we use words. Comparing spiritual with spiritual. We speak words which the Holy Ghost teacheth. Words which the Holy Ghost teacheth. Now, stay with me. I'm still on this. So, the point is that the bread was to communicate Christ. That is, there is a communication that the bread was supposed to make. That is, they ate the bread and left the bread. They ate the bread and left the bread. That's exactly what happened. They ate the bread. So Jesus now comes in John chapter 6, reporting the same account and teaching from it. John chapter 6 verse 30. Give me verse 30 of John chapter 6. They said therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What dost thou work? 31. Our fathers did eat manna. We just read about that manna now. In the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Look at Jesus now. Next verse. Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. I thought when we read, he said the Lord said he will rain bread. But Jesus said God never said it. That is one of the assumptions in the Old Testament. I trust Jesus more than Moses. Moses said God said he will rain bread, and bread actually rained. That's what some people say, but they use oil and they have result. Moses said God said he will rain bread, and bread rained. But when Jesus came, Jesus said that bread didn't come from heaven. So that you see result, you need to find out what is the origin of the result. That was it, the thing is working. Even native doctors, their own work. Even magicians, their magic works. So it is not that it is working that validates it. It is, where is this working coming from? Are we together here? But Dr. Damina, when even they use the oil, it used to work. Moses struck the rock, water still came out. What was the instruction? Speak. But he disobeyed and abused the rock. Striking the rock means preaching wrong doctrine. And even in the midst of preaching wrong doctrine, you still see miracles. So miracles don't validate the message. It is the message that reveals the source of the miracles. Am I talking to somebody here? So don't be carried away by the miracles. Before you get excited about the miracles, ask yourself, what did he preach before these miracles came? What did he preach? What did he preach? Don't be flabbergasted by results. What did he preach? Because look at it. Moses told them the Lord will rain bread, and bread came. It's like Elijah said, if I be a man of God, let fire come. Fire came. In chapter 18 of 1 Kings, Elijah said there was fire, but God was not in the fire. The same Elijah said that fire, God was not in it. The same Elijah who brought the fire, later on said, it's true that there was fire, but God is not in the fire. He said later on, God only came in a still small voice. Jesus told them, Moses never gave you manna from heaven. Look at it again. John chapter 6 verse 32. Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. That bread that fell was Moses' teaching ministry to reveal Christ. So instead of Moses succeeding in using bread to show them Christ, he used bread to block Christ from them. Because they ate bread and missed the bread. The elements keep you far from Christ. The elements keep you far from faith. The elements reduce you to a man of the senses. And the sense realm is where Satan operates. Satan cannot operate in revelation knowledge, because the princes of this world had they known. So they can't operate in the realm of knowledge, but they can operate in the realm of the senses. I feel, I think, I smell. Oh, Satan operates in the sensual realm. God operates in the realm of revelation, because revelation is a product of the Spirit of God. Flesh and blood has not revealed. So there's no revelation in flesh and blood. Revelation is by the Spirit. But my Father has revealed. So when you keep eating things and looking for things to touch, you are staying away from Christ. You are staying closer to the sensual realm where Satan can easily manipulate you. Look at that verse 32 again. Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. That's what he means by man shall not live by bread only, but by every word. So he was telling them, this bread you're eating is not the way man lives. There is bread from heaven that is spoken. This physical bread has no life. Man shall not live by this bread. But there is a bread that is spoken. And that bread is called every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. That is the bread that has life. The other one is just a medium of communication to point you to this one from the mouth. Words that have life. He was teaching them that